G'day! In this lesson, we will work on the presentation layer and create the UI using Angular. Before starting the UI development, we will first add the localization texts. We would normally do this when needed while developing our application. The localization texts are located under the localization/bookstore folder of the domain.shared project. Let's open the en.json file, which contains the English translations file, where en stands for English, and paste the following translation keys and their corresponding English translations. Localization key names are arbitrary. We can set them with any name we like. However, we should always use the convention for specific text types, like we add menu : prefix for menu items, enum type : enum value naming convention to localize enum members, and when we use these conventions, then the ABP can automatically localize them for us. If a text is not defined in the localization file, it falls back to the localization key, which is the ASP.NET Core's standard behavior. ABP localization system is built on the ASP.NET Core's standard localization system, and ABP framework extends it in many ways. We will use Visual Studio Code so that we can develop and implement the UI. The first thing to do is to install the Npm Packages by running the command yarn in the terminal at the root of the Angular folder. It's time to create something visible and usable. There are some tools that we will use when developing the Angular front-end application. We will use ng-bootstrap as the UI component library and ngx-datatable as the data table library. We will now run the command yarn ng generate module book --module app --routing --route books to create the book module in the root folder of our Angular application. Let's open the book.module.ts file and replace its contents with the following code. You will notice that we've added the shared module. The shared module exports some common modules needed to create the user interfaces. The shared module already exports the common module, hence we've removed the common module. Let's open the app-routing.module.ts file in the src/app folder. We will see that the ng generator has the new route destination of book for us. Now we will open the route.provider.ts file in the src/app folder and replace the configure routes function declaration with the following code. The route service is a service provided by the ABP framework to configure the main menu and the routes. Path is the URL of the route. Name is the localized menu item. Icon class is the icon of the menu item. Order is the order of the menu item. Layout is the layout of the book module's routes. There are three types of predefined layouts, namely being eLayoutType.application, eLayoutType.account, and eLayoutType.empty. We will now generate the service proxies. ABP CLI provides generate-proxy command that generates client proxies for our HTTP APIs to make it easy to consume from the client side. Before running the generate-proxy command, we must have the host project running. So let's switch to Visual Studio and ensure that our host project is set as our startup project and run the application. Now that we have our host project running, we will switch to Visual Studio Code and run abp generate-proxy. This command will generate a number of files under the /src/app/proxy/books folder, namely being book-type.enum.ts, book.service.ts, and index.tx, and finally module.ts. Let's open the book.component.ts in the src/app/book folder and replace its contents with the following code. Notice that we have imported and injected the generated book service into the constructor. We are also using the list service, which is a utility service of the ABP framework, which provides an easy pagination, sorting, and searching functionality without writing any code. Let's open the book.component.html in the /src/app/books folder, and let's replace its contents with the following code. The code in the book.component.ts and the book.component.html is pretty self-explanatory, but if you have questions or comments, please use the comments box below to ask them. Finally, let's run the application using the command yarn start. We will navigate to the books list page, and we can see a data table with the 2 books which we seeded into the database in our previous lesson. In this lesson, we learned how to build the books list page and created the UI using Angular. Join me in the next lesson to continue to build the presentation layer to create, update, and delete books using Angular.